Hello everybody, FastFireboy here, back with a new video. And today I will be doing an updated collection video because I have gotten quite a few new things since my last one. And just before I also start this, I want to give some credit to Andreas Trains because this video is kind of like in the similar format to it. So yeah, I took some inspiration from him, but yeah, let's get started. First off, we've got Thomas. Thomas is just the standard Trackmaster 2 Thomas with a painted running board, lamp, and lamp irons, and buffers and a coupling. I got him at, out of all places, freaking Ross. I was in the toy aisle, expecting to not really find anything, until I found a set with Thomas and Cassia, I think her name is, but stop meowing. A set called Thomas and Cassia, I think her name is. Yeah, I did have a Thomas before this one, except, he wasn't in the best condition, so what is going on? Sorry about that, guys. My cat is being very goofy. What was I gonna say again? Yeah, my Thomas wasn't in the best condition. Yeah, I got this one. Tempted not to paint the running board, but of course I couldn't resist it, and I did that. But yeah, this is my Thomas. Next up, Edward. Edward is a 2018 Player 01. Everyone's favorite model. I don't really mind him. He looks alright if you pretend the wheel arrangement doesn't exist. Yeah, this is I got this as a new Edward because my old one just didn't run well anymore. I got this for Christmas of last year, and yeah, he came with a boxcar, so that's pretty cool. Next up, we got Henry. This Henry, I got in the Henry and Winston pack, which he comes with a shocker, Winston. I know you never would have guessed that. But yeah, next up we have Gordon. Kind of the same thing as Edward. He's a replacement. My mom found him at a flea market, and since my old Gordon didn't have the best paint job, she showed me like a picture of engines they had there, and then I saw the Gordon, so I said I wanted that one, and yeah, now I have it. Except the tender's still from the old one. Next up we have James, and I've had, like, at least 5 Jameses, because every single one I get has some problem with the other. But then, I thought this one just didn't work anymore. So, that's why you would see, like, the talking James in my videos. But then, I was making a custom out of this James right here. But then, out of curiosity, I decided to see if the batteries worked. Or if the engine worked, if I put batteries in it. And it did. So then I just decided to make this my normal James. I tried getting the shade of red as close as possible, but yeah. Anyways, we've got Percy. And Percy, I got from one of my friends, I think. Yeah. His, like, boiler and stuff wasn't in the best condition since I recently learned custom making. So I just stored all my engines. Yeah, but like recently, I repainted his boiler into a shade of green that looks almost exact to the original one. Like, this right here is, the paint I used, and then this is the original. But yeah, I painted his cylinders, running board, and I added a slot, if you can't see that, right here, for a front coupling. So yeah. Next up, we have Toby. And then Toby, I kind of got for like the same reason as Edward. My old Toby just didn't run anymore. And I did make an unboxing video on this. But yeah, this is just a Player Toby. With the only thing that I changed is like painting his bell, or no, the string, and his funnel. Next up, we have, okay, let me move this a bit, Duck. Duck is a custom I made out of a Hyper Glow Thomas. and I'd say it turned out all right. I've made this basically because the ducks are quite a bit overpriced on eBay. Yeah, here's the face, you know, the side of him and all that stuff. Next up, we have Donald. Donald, I found at a flea market for, guess how much? $3. Yes, I'm not kidding, $3. And when I got him, he worked, but he doesn't work anymore, sadly. Yeah, I tried everything I could. It doesn't really work. And by everything I could, I mean putting batteries. The tender is the custom from my old Donald, but I repainted it because the old one kind of looked bad. So yeah. The only things I changed about Donald is just painting his handrails and giving him, like, white specks in the eyes. Next up, we have Douglas. Now, this is no ordinary Douglas. This is the knockoff Douglas, which I got since the Douglases are quite overpriced. So, I got this on Amazon for like $28, I think. Yeah, the only things I changed, I repainted his buffers, the coupling, gave him white eye specks, painted the handrails, and gave him windows. Next up, we have my Tomy Oliver. Not just kidding. This is my custom Oliver, which is still a work in progress. This is made out of a Thomas. I haven't really finished anything yet. I want to get a Tomy Oliver, but as basically everyone knows, they are quite overpriced. Next up, we have everyone's second favorite model, Emily. This is the Trackmaster 2 Emily. I got her at Target, I think it was. The only things I modified was I painted her running board gray, the buffers, then this, that thing right there. And yeah, that's basically it. Next up, we got Ben. Now, this Ben, I also made an unboxing video on this. I got him on Mercari for $28, which is a pretty good price for a Ben. Next up, we have Bill. Now, you might be wondering, Fast Fireboy, what happened to him? I really don't know, but I probably have to, like, redo his face and all that stuff. But this is a custom that I made out of a, it's called the Racing Percy, I think it's called, from, like, the Great Race set. Next up, we have everyone's favorite character, Nia. This is just a standard Nia with the only things I modified. I gave her cab windows. I gave her rivets for some reason. I also painted the buffers. And yeah, that's basically it. Next up, we've got Flora. Now, this Flora, my mom found at a flea market, the same one she found Gordon at. This is just a standard Flora with a few scratches, but it's in an okay condition. And she does work, although she's kind of loud. Yeah, I did not do any modifications to her. Next up, we've got Hero. I found him at the same market that I found Donald at. Yeah, that's pretty cool, except he doesn't have a tender. So, yeah. Next up, we've got Spencer. This is not the ordinary Spencer. This is the, what's it called? Royal Spencer. Yeah. I had another Spencer, the stock standard one, but that was used for another custom, which you will see later in this video. The only things I changed is that I repainted his, tender, because I originally used that to make a custom Annie, because it was impossible to find an Annie. Yeah, but then I found an Annie in Clarabelle, so I kind of had to, like, repaint it back. But yeah, that's basically it. Next up, we have Ryan. More specifically, a custom Ryan, which is nothing much, just a Thomas painted purple with a face that needs to be updated. Next up, we have Ashima, who, it's not the standard Ashima, it's the, like, Hyper Glow one. Except I gave her Tommy sleeves because I have no idea what happened to the regular ones. But yeah, I mean, she has a more accurate wheel color, so that's something. Next up, we got Raul, which I got in 2021, I think. Yeah, I got him at Target along with like the coach and Emerson, but I lost those sadly. Next up, we've got Yang Bao, who I think I got at Target. Yeah, as you can see, Old Me did not take great care of my engines. Like, what happened to the tender? And then, I really don't know what I did here. I wish I did not do that. Next up, we've got, can you move, please? As I was saying, next up, we've got Vinny, who, it's a custom. You would have guessed that. And I made out of a, guess what? I made him out of a freaking real Steam Percy. Yeah. And I somehow actually managed to make this pretty decent. And the tender is the tanker that came with him. Or I think it's a tanker at least. Then, next up we've got Carlos, who for some reason never ended up getting any merchandise. And is like a single merch line. This is a Trackmaster that I made out of a James. I'd say it's an alright custom. Next up, we've got Rajiv, who I made out of my old Emily. It doesn't work. The face probably needs to be updated. But yeah, that's Rajiv. Next up, we got Frida, who I made out of my old Henry. It's kind of coincidental. Nothing much. I just painted her blue. She, I tried to, like, make this a extended cab since she doesn't have a, like, visible firebox. But I'll probably have to modify that to look more natural. Next up, we've got everyone's favorite yellow banana, Rebecca. And that, I got her at Target same day I got Emily. Nothing much. I just, like, I painted the few circle things here. Painted this, like, thing on her tender. And then, I don't know. Let me see. I gave her whatever these things are. A coupling, and are these where's her buffers? Okay, we'll put that back there. Next up, we've got Merlin. What are you doing here? We've got Merlin, which I took off the side rods for some reason. I think it was for a custom. But yeah, he doesn't work anymore. I didn't really do anything, except I painted, like, the back of his cab and that front tender space, like, on here. Even though I don't think he has that. Yeah, 8-year-old me was not good at decision making with customs. Or I don't know. Next up, we've got Axel, which, as I mentioned before, is the Spencer I used for my old, which is which is the Spencer I used for, oh my god, okay, why are you still here? Which is, okay, I made him out of my stock standard Spencer. There we go, I can get that out now. Yeah, I'd say it turned out pretty decent. I gave him, like, whatever this thing is. Oh my god. I made, like, an extended side rod piece, then gave him, like, these frame things he has, and then a face. Yeah, next up, we've got probably, one of my better customs, Wilbert, who I made out of the custom for my old Ben. But yeah, he looks pretty alright. Actually, probably one of my better customs, I'd say. Moving on, we've got Flying Scotsman, who is just a Flying Scotsman, who, of course, 8-year-old me had to ruin with all the freaking details and stuff. I'm driving myself crazy. Next up, we have a Duchess, who I got her for free, okay? Now, this story is a little complicated. So, at school, my friend Dabbermop, at school I saw my friend Dabbermop. So, me and Dabbermop go to the same school, and then his favorite color is blue, right? And then I had this, like, blue pencil with a blue eraser, and then he saw it, and he was like, I'll trade you anything for it. So, since I went to his house one time, he had a spare Duchess. So, I used my massive brain and told him to give me a Duchess, and he actually accepted the trade. So, yeah, now I have this. Next up, we have Timothy, who I made out of I think I made him out of, like, the Thomas that was in, like, the Sky High Bridge Jump set. But, yeah, he's an okay custom. Next up, we have Diesel. But this is no ordinary Diesel. It's the Water Splash Diesel. Since I got this at the same market I got Gordon at. And, yeah, that's basically it. Nothing really changed about him. Next up, we've got Salty, who I got at another flea market. Yeah, I haven't really modified him. He's, like, the same Salty since I got him. Next up, we have my custom Daisy, which is just a, like, paper thing that I put on top of... Get out! I put on top of one of these. Yeah. I'd say she's an okay custom. But, yeah. Next up, we've got Diesel 10. And I got him, so for Christmas, I got $100. And then I decided to buy something with it. And I really wanted a Playroll Diesel 10. Because the only Diesel 10 I had was the Minis one. And that does not really scale properly with Trackmaster. But yeah, I got Diesel 10. And it's a pretty big W. Last up, but not least, we've got my Coke engine custom, which is, I've made a custom video on this. It's based off of, like, those Hornby Coke train thingies, but, yeah. Now, we move on to the rolling stock. First up, we got Annie and Clarabelle, who I got in that Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle pack. Yeah, not much to say about them. They're just Annie and Clarabelle. Next up, we've got Henrietta, which I'm pretty happy to have. I got her with my Playroll Toby. And as you can see right here, she does have a face, which is pretty cool. Next up, we've got my first and only Express Coach that I got with the Talking Gordon. This one's pretty cool since you can also open it up and see inside of it. Next up, we got the Branchline Coach, which I found at a flea market. The same one I got Donald and Hero at. It's a pretty good item. It's not really much, but it's pretty good to just have around and, play with. I stacked these on top of each other to save space because I was running out of track. But yeah, here we have the this truck that came with James. Basically, if you flip it, it's like a coach, and then it's a pig truck. This one came with an All Engines Go Percy, which let me just move this out of the way. It's the same feature, but it's like a coach, and then it's a mail van. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Next up, we have my trucks. And, here, I'll explain the story of each one of these individually. So, first off, this one I got with Henrietta and Toby. Pretty good truck. I mean, I don't really have much to say about it. Next up, we have this truck, which I got from one of my friends. Yeah, he was, starting to not get interested in Thomas anymore, so I asked if I could, have any of his Thomas stuff, and he gave me all of it, so, yeah. Next up, we've got, this truck, which I got from my friend Trainboy111, and he comes with it came with like a dynamite truck piece. And then the only thing I changed about him was I gave him, I gave it just like these black stripes on the side. Next up, we've got these trucks that came with Diesel 10, and these just look amazing. Like, the color that they use is just really good. But yeah. Next up, we have this yellow van, which I got with Edward. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, I just dropped that word. Then, last up, we have this gray van, which I really don't remember where I got this from. If you know what set or whatever, like, this gray van came in, please tell me in the comments. And now, moving on, this is the Duchess coach that I got with Duchess. Nothing much to say about it. It's a pretty good coach. It could be a bit bigger, but it doesn't really matter. Next up, we have this metallic red van, which came with the Celebration Thomas. Then we have a male van, which came with, you'll never guess who, Percy. Then we have a green van, which came with the Trackmaster Toby. Next up, we have the Animal Park van, which came with like the Monkey Thomas set thing. Then we've got this paint tanker, which came with the All Engines Go talking Nia. This milk tanker, which came with talking Diesel. This tanker, which I got from one of my friends, the fuel tanker. Then, let me just move this out of the way. This orange water tanker, which came in the Percy takes a what? Oh my gosh, I can't speak to. Which comes in the Percy takes a. Why won't my camera focus? Which came in the Percy takes a plunge, like Greatest Moments Back, I think it's called. Then we have my custom of the Spiteful Brake van. Then we have Trackmaster Bruno, and then what did my cat do this time? Okay. Here we have my very bad custom Toad, which I really need to update. I made this when I was like 8. Yeah, it could definitely be improved. And then last up, we have the push along Bruno, and then these two trucks. This one came in All Engines Go Muddy Thomas set, and this one came with the Talking Nia. And then last up for engines, we have Skarloey, which I got at the same market I got Donald, Hero, and the red coach at. Then over here, we have Sir Handel. He wasn't in the best condition when I got him, but I still wanted a Sir Handel. So I just decided to try to fix the nameplate and the number. But yeah. Then, he was at the same market that I got Skarloey and the other ones I mentioned at. Rusty, same story as the other ones. Sorry if this is getting kind of boring. I'm trying to make this as interesting as I can. And as a little bonus, here is the engines I use in Wooden Railway since I don't have the Trackmaster version. So first off, I have Rheneas. Coincidentally, we have everyone's favorite Rheneas and Stephanie models. Yeah, I got them at the same market that, oh my god. I got them at the same market. I got Rusty, Sir Handel, Skarloey, Donald, Hero, and the red coach at. And then next up we have Boko, which I got at the same market, which you have seen in some of my remakes if you watch them. Last up I got Kenji, who I got at Barnes & Noble. Now, that's it for all of the engines and stuff, but as an another added bonus, we have the road vehicles and Winston. So here we have Wooden Railway Birdie, Terrence, Trevor, Elizabeth, Ace, and Sir Topham Hat with Winston, and Harold. Birdie and Trevor were the first two things I bought off of eBay. Yeah, pretty good condition. Terrence, I got at the market. Elizabeth, I got at the same market, or my mom got her at the same day that she found Gordon. Ace came with the Thomas and Ace pack. And then this Top Pattern Winston came with this Henry. And then this Harold came in the Superstation. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Why is Thomas derailed? Make sure to like and subscribe. And episode 2 of my series has begun. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.